Daily Broadside Day 476. We're hanging out at the house, and I told you, hey man, do me a favor, go up to the store that's like a block or two away, and grab me such and such, and come back. But I told you that you could only do it by crawling on your stomach, right? You couldn't get on your knees, you couldn't walk on your hands and knees, you can't walk bipedal at all. You have to crawl your entire way, all right? First of all, it's going to take you about an hour to get up there and back. Maybe longer, I don't know. Depends on how long you linger in the store for stuff. And I don't know, I guess you're going to take a backpack to carry everything back. But that's not important how you're going to get it back. The point of the theory is when you got back and you stood up at the house and I was like looking at you, you'd be covered in dirt and debris, mud and water and all kinds of trash and everything else. And yet, you never see a dirty snake. You ever notice that? I could see it if, maybe it's because, their scales obviously run a certain way. If the scales were reversed, they would trap all kinds of crap. They'd get infection and stuff. But it's not even that. It's like, why do the snakes never get dirty? All they do is spend their time crawling around on the floor. It's crazy. It's crazy. And have you ever seen two snakes wrestle? Man, you just want to slap them both in the mouth. Like, y'all get out of here. Y'all ain't got arms or legs. Y'all look stupid. Couple of noodles just wrapping each other up is done. And because a lot of them, they don't use their venom against each other because they realize snakes realize how difficult it is to make the venom, so they store it. They don't just waste it. That's why you get dry bites at times, and not everybody's envenomated. But nevertheless, you ever go to a store and you park outside and you go out and you're like, I gotta get a couple bags of ice, and they're like, it's out in the parking lot, and you go back out there and you're like totally missed the fact there's this big ice machine sitting out in the parking lot right in front of your truck, and you're like, why did I not just steal the ice? It's all unlocked. I'm kidding. Don't steal anything, namely ice. That would be really embarrassing to get caught stealing basically what is water, frozen water. But it doesn't stand to reason. I guess those things, I don't know if they just need to have a leak, a drain tube. I don't know what it is, why the ice machine is always out on the sidewalk in the glaring sun. Seems like it'd make the machine work a little bit harder. If I take a cooler somewhere or a thermos full of ice water or something, I don't just set it in the middle of an asphalt parking lot and let it just bake. That just seems to be counterintuitive to the whole point of keeping ice as a solid, not a lukewarm liquid. But nevertheless, we have a very trusting society in this world with regards to ice. And maybe it's the fact that, what does a bag of ice cost somebody to make? Like -4 cents? It's integer money, you know what I mean? And when you're making integer money, you're making good money because you've got, not only do you not have any expenses, but people are paying you to make it. People are paying you to take your ice off their hand. You're their ice off your hand. Your ice off of your hand. There we go. We got the right pronouns in that situation. And you know how some apps that you use, like this one, it'll show, and I don't think it's very accurate because there's times where people are like, it showed you were active. I'm like, well, I was asleep, so I don't know why it said I was active. My phone was off. But it'll say, so-and-so is active. Now, like how TikTok has started saying, Polly is active. Say hi. I'm like, I don't want to say hi to that bitch. That'd be weird. Just because she's on there, she don't want to hear from me. Like, hi. That's just dumb. But anyway, I think they should have something, and this may already exist. I don't know. But I have a habit of calling people at any hour that I have a question, which sometimes is inappropriate for people's sleep patterns. So I'll call you at 4:50 in the morning, or I'll text you rather. I won't necessarily call, but I'll be like, you up? And then the person wakes up 4 hours later and they're like, no, I wasn't up. And I'm never going to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So don't ever try calling. But you should have a thing where and it would have to be, it's kind of like allowing your location, on your phone. If I can see where my kids are through the texting part of the phone, they could allow this. They basically be like, the phone hasn't been, opened up and messed with in, 47 minutes. So I can assume at 4 o'clock in the morning that they're fast asleep. Or if it says 6 hours, I can rest assured that they're fast asleep. But that way, you could be not interrupting people's whatever they're doing and all. I just think it would be kind of a handy thing to do. Maybe maybe for some people. He wouldn't do it for everybody, because I don't really care if, Bob the grocer, is up. I'm probably not going to call him that often. But, the people in your life that you routinely call that you don't want to annoy with your fervent rantings at any time of the day, I think that they should make money that explodes and, burst into like starburst patterns in the sky. Because that's what I see when I see fireworks. People waste so much. I got a guy I know that every year spends like $2,000 on fireworks, and it just boggles my mind that you would waste that much money on something that clearly just goes up in smoke so fast. I mean, you might as well have a $50 bill that you light on fire and it shoots up about 20 feet in the air and just explodes, because that's all you're doing is just burning up your money. It's weird. It's weird if you think about it. And I've watched several videos there in the last week or so where people's literal houses have been caught on fire. There was one where a palm tree, like a 30-foot palm tree, is just, and then the people are like mad at the neighbors because they didn't trim their palm tree when they shot the fireworks into the palm tree and then lit the dude's house on fire. Can you imagine coming home and you being like, whose ass am I going to have to kick on this block because my house and my beloved palm trees are completely destroyed? Oh, it's such a bad day, But, when you're setting off fireworks in your garage, things happen like that, And how I was looking at a concrete truck yesterday, just riding down the road, just doing this little spinning thing, because if not, I remember Mike Rowe did a dirty job one time where they cleaned out a hardened, what do you call it, concrete truck, the what is it called? There's a word for the round part that spins, and I can't think of what it is. But anyway, it had hardened, and they had to clean it out. I don't know why. I just didn't buy another one before I do that. But they're in there with, chisels and jackhammers and all, and I can only imagine how horrible a job that would be, not only with the confined space and all that concrete dust, but just, that's got to be just horrible. I mean, I've ripped out, steps and fence posts and stuff before, and that's, 200 pounds of concrete. I couldn't imagine. But I think it would be cool if somebody repurposed a concrete truck and made it into like a dough truck, and they delivered like the best like blueberry batter for muffins and stuff that you could ever imagine. And they show up to your house like the Schwann's man or something, and you roll out and you're like, the blueberry truck is here, and you run out there and they open that trough down and then they just reverse the spin on the cylinder. Is it a cylinder? I don't know, there's a name for it, but anyway, they reverse it and you come out there with like an 8x10 pan, and you just get like freshly mixed up. It's been mixing the whole way down the road, mixed up blueberry batter, and you got pancakes and muffins aplenty, you know what I mean? And I just think that would be kind of cool, man. And the whole truck could be painted like Violet Beauregard, just blueberry as hell. You could have a strawberry truck and a blueberry. The possibilities are endless for making fresh dough. Fresh dough for the people. Fresh dough for the people. It's a song I'm working on. Y'all get it.